Hello Dub Nation, it's always a thrill to connect with you, especially as we're about to reveal the latest news that could shape the fate of our beloved Golden State Warriors. But before we dive into this whirlwind of information, let me make a friendly request. Show us some love by clicking the like button to strengthen our bond, and hey, if you are not subscribed yet, join our channel for a thrilling and emotional journey. Don't forget to turn on notifications to stay ahead of the game. Warriors make shrewd decision regarding young duo amid trade rumors. The Golden State Warriors have made a strategic move by reportedly sidelining young talents Brandon Podziemski and Tracy Jackson-Davis for the remainder of the Summer League in Las Vegas. Both players played pivotal roles in the Warriors' victory over the Chicago Bulls on Sunday. Podziemski came close to a triple-double with 21 points, 8 of 14 shooting, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists, while Jackson-Davis posted a double-double with 17 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. The Golden State Warriors have wisely decided to rest Brandon Podziemski and Tracy Jackson-Davis for the rest of the Summer League. Considering their impressive rookie seasons, which included all-rookie first-team honors for Podziemski, their participation in the Summer League was somewhat surprising. Clearly, the Warriors wanted additional reps for the talented duo, especially Podziemski, who was given a pure point guard role in the Summer League, one that will likely transition into next season as Stephen Curry's backup. After playing in the last 3 games since the California Classic, the Warriors have seen enough of Podziemski and Jackson-Davis, who will now sit out the remainder of the Summer League, according to Anthony Slater of The Athletic. Podziemski overcame an inefficient 4 of 13 shooting performance against the Sacramento Kings last week to showcase his skills in the weekend games against the Phoenix Suns and the Bulls. The 21-year-old averaged 17.3 points, 7.0 rebounds, and 5.7 assists over the 3-game period, shooting 43.2% from the field and 40% from beyond the arc. The decision to rest Podziemski comes amid trade rumors, with Shams Charania of The Athletic reporting on Monday that the Utah Jazz are pursuing the 19th overall pick from last year in a deal for Lauri Markkanen. A trade involving Podziemski, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and future draft picks for the 2023 All-Star has not been an option so far for Golden State, sources say. Jackson-Davis averaged 12.7 points and 7.7 rebounds in his 3 outings, shooting 63.2% from the field while getting to the free throw line more than 6 times per game. The Warriors currently hold a 5-0 record in the Summer League, with upcoming games against the Cleveland Cavaliers on Wednesday and the Oklahoma City Thunder on Friday. Jazz reportedly prioritize Warriors' young star in potential Markkanen trade. Following an initial report on Monday outlining trade talks between the Golden State Warriors and the Utah Jazz, Shams Charania of The Athletic has provided more insight into a possible Lauri Markkanen trade. Charania previously labeled the Warriors as the most engaged team in pursuing Markkanen over the past few weeks, turning their focus to the 2023 All-Star after missing out on Paul George just before free agency. The Utah Jazz reportedly prefer Brandon Podziemski over Jonathan Kuminga in a potential trade for Lauri Markkanen. In a recent interview with SiriusXM NBA Radio, Charania reported that the Jazz are more focused on Brandon Podziemski rather than the 21-year-old Jonathan Kuminga. From everything I've been told, the Jazz are more focused on Brandon Podziemski, his inclusion in the deal, all the picks are in the deal, and from the Warriors' perspective, Podziemski, but not all the picks, and if it's all the picks, then no Podziemski. Shams Charania. This revelation comes as no surprise after ESPN's Tim McMahon suggested last week that any deal would likely hinge on Podziemski heading to Utah. Much of this involves the contractual situations of Podziemski and Kuminga, with the latter being eligible for an extension this offseason, potentially commanding over $30 million per season. Podziemski, on the other hand, has 3 years remaining on his incredibly team-friendly rookie contract. The 19th overall pick from last year has been playing for Golden State in the Summer League, though it was reported on Monday that he and Tracy Jackson-Davis will sit out the remaining schedule. Podziemski posted impressive averages of 17.3 points, 7.0 rebounds, and 5.7 assists in his 3 Summer League games, shooting 43.2% from the field and 40% from three-point range. The franchise's love for Podziemski has been well documented following a rookie year where he briefly replaced Klay Thompson in the starting lineup and earned all-rookie first-team honors. Any deal involving Podziemski for Markkanen would also need to include additional salary from the Warriors side, most notably in the form of veterans Kevin Looney and/or Gary Payton II. NBA Insider anticipates clarity on Warriors' rising star's future. The offseason has brought increased uncertainty about Jonathan Kuminga's future, with the former 7th overall pick heading into a pivotal 4th season in the league. Kuminga showed significant improvement in the second half of last season but ended up outside the Warriors' starting lineup. This has left questions about his future role amidst ongoing trade speculations, as the franchise pursues Utah Jazz forward Lauri Markkanen. Details about a potential contract extension for Golden State Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga could emerge by the end of the month. Kuminga is now eligible for an extension before the final year of his rookie contract, with the 21-year-old capable of signing a 5-year max deal worth up to $224 million. While a max contract is unlikely at this point, the talented forward could still command over $30 million per season. Speaking on the latest episode of his podcast, ESPN's Zach Lowe hinted that more information about Kuminga's extension potential could surface by the end of the month. Let me say this. Kuminga is extension eligible now. It's July 15th. I'd be surprised if we haven't heard something about Kuminga's negotiations, conversations, and status by August 1st. Because I think it's kind of time to go one way or the other on Kuminga. Zach Lowe. Golden State General Manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. expressed the desire to extend the contracts of both Kuminga and his 2021 lottery mate Moses Moody last week. However, this could be complicated by their potential involvement in a trade for Markkanen. Shams Charania of The Athletic reported on Monday that the Warriors offered Moody and a series of future picks to the Jazz, but Utah also requested Kuminga and last year's 19th overall pick, Brandon Podziemski. This makes extensions for Kuminga and Moody unlikely, at least until there's clarity on the Markkanen situation by August 6. A deal for both will also hinge on how each party values their current worth versus what they believe they can achieve next season. Perhaps Kuminga is confident he can develop into a max-level player similar to 2021 draftees Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes, and Franz Wagner. If an extension is not reached before the season starts, Kuminga and or Moody will automatically enter restricted free agency next offseason. The intriguing big lineup the Warriors could employ with major trades. Golden State Warriors fans have often bemoaned the team's lack of size in recent years, both at the center position and in their 5-man units where Steve Kerr frequently utilizes 3-guard lineups. This is part of the current fascination with Lauri Markkanen. The Utah Jazz forward isn't a true center or rim protector by any means, but at 7 feet tall, he would add genuine size to the Warriors. Last season's roster had Dario Saric as the tallest player at 6 feet 10 inches, while Kevin Looney and Tracy Jackson-Davis are both listed at 6 feet 9 inches. A trade for Lauri Markkanen could create an intriguing big lineup that defies the Golden State Warriors' recent history. Shams Charania of The Athletic reported on Monday that the Jazz might prefer Brandon Podziemski over Jonathan Kuminga in a trade for Markkanen, opening up the potential for a lineup featuring Kuminga, Markkanen, and Draymond Green if a deal goes through. Tim Kawakami of The Athletic took it a step further on Monday, suggesting that Golden State really likes the idea of a starting lineup that also includes Andrew Wiggins at shooting guard. Markkanen is such a good shooter that it's not out of the question for the Warriors to go big with Markkanen, Draymond, Kuminga, and Wiggins, with Curry as the only guy under 6 feet 6 inches in the starting unit. I think the Warriors really like thinking about that. Which is an example of why they might not necessarily want to include Kuminga in that deal. Tim Kawakami. The idea of having 4 starters over 6 feet 6 inches isn't necessarily new. The Warriors often had that last season with a combination of Klay Thompson, Wiggins, Green, and one of Kuminga, Jackson-Davis, or Looney. What would be new is having a 7-footer in a 5-man lineup where everyone can shoot to some degree, although Kuminga and Green aren't fully respected by opposing defenses. Kerr could go even further, perhaps slotting Jackson-Davis in place of Kuminga or Green. This would certainly be an intriguing starting lineup with a good mix of offense and defense, especially if Podziemski is sent to Utah and isn't an option for the 2-guard spot. The main concern would be how Kerr manages the guard/wing options off the bench, with D'Anthony Melton, Buddy Hield, Gary Payton II, Moses Moody, and Lindy Waters 3 all potential rotation players. The Warriors first need to secure a deal for Markkanen, which may not happen if the franchise wants to keep Podziemski, whose stock has only risen with recent impressive performances in the Summer League.